looks pretty freaking good. Ours looks so much better.
Holy sh**.
Okay, number 1. Hey guys, welcome to our kitchen, and today we're making Taco Bell chalupas at home. I don't know if you guys know who Joshua Weissman is. It's a YouTube video we saw. It's Taco Bell chalupa at home, but better. So we're gonna make the Taco Bell chalupa from Josh's recipe. Then we're gonna get a Taco Bell chalupa and we're gonna taste test and see, is it actually better?
Let's make the cheese.
Okay. Just need some energy. This is gonna be so good. We're not professionals here, okay? So it says to do ½ pound of cheddar cheese, and this is 1 pound, so I'm just gonna do half the block. It says to do a 1/3 pound of yellow American cheese. The only American cheese I could find at my local grocery store was the sliced American cheese. There was no block. So I Googled it and I ended up just getting these Velveeta shreds because it's basically fake cheese. From the onion. We've got our yellow onion and poblano diced up and prepped. It does say in the recipe also to use whole milk. Don't go for that 2%. So it says 3 cloves, but what if you have like a huge clove?
Can you really have too much garlic?
No, honestly. Okay. I'm melting the butter over medium-high heat. Once that's melted, I'm gonna add in the onion, poblano, and garlic. We're just gonna let this cook until it softens up. Just gonna give the onions a little bit longer so they're nice and clear and soft. Okay, now we're gonna stir in a tablespoon of flour. We're gonna stir this flour in and let it cook for 1 to 2 minutes. This is gonna help that milk thicken up and make our queso super yummy. Okay, I'm gonna pour in my 1½ cup of milk. We're gonna let this thicken up just a little bit with that flour before we add our cheese. How thick does it need to get, Joshua? I think I'll go ahead and cut the heat. Here's our freshly grated sharp cheddar and our American cheese. We're gonna stir this together and then we're gonna add in a little salt and pepper to season it up a little. It looks nice and thick. We're gonna find out if it's better.
Oh, it's really good.
Ooh, I'm excited to try. That's really good. I would actually add a little bit more spice to that because we like spicy food. Those peppers are not hot at all. But yeah, add extra heat if you want to because I would like to spice that up a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and get our meat ready next. This is ½ a teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of mushroom powder. This is what it actually says on the recipe. 1 teaspoon of mushroom soup base powder. I put that in my Walmart pickup grocery order app and it didn't bring up anything. So Jeremy had a great idea because you can get onion soup mix and they had an onion and mushroom powdered soup mix and I'm just gonna use 1½ teaspoons of that. He said it's very important. I personally was gonna leave it out, but he specifically said, do not skip this mushroom, so madness. This garlic is fresh out of my friend's garden, and it's really delicious. Thank you, Eugenie. Gonna cut up the garlic. We're cutting up some garlic. I believe this is 73% lean. He also makes a note not to get 80% or super lean meat. You want something with some fat in there, guys. He said to press it down. We want it to get a little bit of a crisp under there before we break it up. We've got the meat crumbled up pretty well. And add our 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. We're gonna let this cook. I've turned the heat down to medium, and we're gonna let this cook for about a minute. Get that stirred in real good. And then I'm gonna add my seasonings. There's 1.5 teaspoon of cumin, a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of mushroom soup, which I ended up mixing together because we had that pre-mix, and then 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 cup of water. Smells really good. Want to scrape the bottom of the pan to release the fond. Don't know what that is, but I can only assume it's just like stuff on the bottom that's built up, and there's a lot of flavor in that. We're gonna let this cook on medium-low, 10 to 15 minutes or until that liquid is gone. So while that's cooking, we're gonna make the chalupa dough. We're gonna go ahead and get that started so it's already ready. It says a teaspoon of fine sea salt. I don't have sea salt on hand, so I'm just using regular salt. Then we're just gonna stir this around, get it incorporated together. We're gonna make a little well in the middle of this flour. We're gonna add 1 cup of whole milk and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You're gonna mix by hand until you form a rough dough, and then we're gonna knead it for 2 to 4 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, we've turned the heat off of our meat, so we're gonna add in 3 cloves of garlic, and then I'm just gonna let this set while we're getting our chalupa shells, and then that garlic's really gonna flavor up this meat. I really do love the smell of garlic. We've got our dough setting for 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get my oil ready. I'm not good at frying stuff. Out of the entire recipe, this is what I'm a little concerned about. I just realized I did not add the 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder into our chalupa dough, so I'm gonna do that right now. It can set in there for that 15 minutes. While my oil is heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and get my dough out and get it portioned out into 8 balls that we're gonna make our chalupas out of. We're gonna roll this dough out with our handy roller. I'm not gonna start out using any flour either. We'll just see how sticky this is. Roll the dough balls into a disc about 6 inches wide. Using a fork, lightly poke holes all over the rolled dough. So what I did is I just had a cookie baking wire rack. I lined it with a paper towel, put this on top of it so it'll catch the grease.
Buddy, what are you doing?
Okay, are we gonna get to 350? Oh my gosh, I think we are. So let's get this dough fried up. So he says to drop this dough into the oil for 15 seconds, and then we're gonna get it out and shape it into the taco shape, and then we'll put it back in. So here we go. I feel like 15 seconds goes by pretty quickly. Okay, that didn't break, so that's great. This looks pretty good so far. It says to continue to fry for another 1 to 2 minutes or until golden brown and crispy. This is looking pretty crispy on the bottom, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out so it doesn't overcook. Okay, I'm not disappointed with that. I feel like that looks pretty good.
I feel like if you would have folded it the other way,
Yeah.
where like it was long,
Yeah.
might have been
Better?
but it looks great.
Wow, buddy. For 15 seconds. We're making our own chalupa shells. Oh, yummy. If I was making tacos at home, I'd definitely buy the pre-made soft taco shells. How do you like it? Do you like that dough?
None.
Who wants Taco Bell? Raise your hand. Do you want a chalupa? Hi, can I get 3 ground beef chalupa supremes? Anything else? That's gonna be it.
All right.
Thank you.
So I got a receipt. I'll be right back with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
For For the toppings, we have a mixture of cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese. We have tomato that also has a little drizzle of olive oil, salt, and pepper. We have a lettuce mixture that has finely shredded lettuce, shredded jicama, and it also has some cilantro in there. And then we also have sour cream. We've got the meat in there. I'm gonna put some cheese sauce. Put a decent amount of cheese on there. And then I'm gonna put a decent amount of sour cream on there and kind of spread it out, okay? Gonna put our lettuce on there, tomatoes, and our cold cheese, just like Taco Bell does it. This looks like a legit chalupa. I'm digging it.
Oh my god, ours looks incredible.
Ours looks so much better. Honestly, seeing it next to the Taco Bell one looks pretty freaking good. I'm excited to try this. The true test is gonna be a blind taste test. Which one's better, Taco Bell or the ones made at home? We have a special guest who's gonna do our blind taste test. It's Germs. Okay, number one. What a mess. Okay, here comes number two.
I definitely like number one better.
Okay.
Hoping that's the one we made.
That's the one we made.
Hey! Yeah, it's so good. It's like, the texture of the chalupa bread is way better on ours. I might like the Taco Bell meat a little bit better.
Yeah. Addie, do you want to try one? I'll make you one.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Will you? So here's the Taco Bell one, and this is the one that we made. I'm excited for Atticus to try this because Atticus is a food lover, and he definitely has his little critiques. Doesn't this one just look 10 times better?
I'd say this one's definitely better. One thing I will say with both of them is that the meat essentially just overpowers a lot of the other flavors on there.
On the Taco Bell one?
On
Or-
both of them, really.
I see.
But Taco Bell one, the sour cream just tasted like water. All of it was very watery. This one had actual flavor, which was definitely a plus.
Give me a 5. Okay, now I'm gonna try one. I can tell by the smell of this meat though, it doesn't have quite the seasoning that Taco Bell's normally does.
I definitely prefer the meat from Taco Bell. And this meat is great. It is the seasoning. There's something about their meat.
I guess I'll just take a bite of this one. I'll try a bite of Addie's that he already tried. That chalupa shell is not fresh at all. The meat and the sour cream is the only other thing I can taste on that, but the shell itself is not good. I think ours is great that we made at home. I do kind of prefer the Taco Bell meat. The tomato with the salt and pepper and olive oil, and just that little bit of cilantro added into the lettuce mixture. The jicama I don't really taste that much. I don't know if it really adds that much difference if we didn't add that into the lettuce mixture. But the cilantro, I really like that cilantro in my lettuce, and I might add that next time I make tacos. But definitely, unless you're walking into Taco Bell and they're making this fresh for you, chalupa shell and everything, which odds are that's not gonna happen, this is better than the Taco Bell taco. The shells weren't the easiest thing to make. They definitely I need more practice on the shells.
They taste great.
They taste fine. I think it's just gonna take me a couple of times of actually making these at home to make them look like they really should. But again, they taste the same, and who cares?
Hey babe,
Yeah,
you know what's better than tacos?
what?
B-roll.